Why?
Why is there war? Why do bridges collapse? Why do airplanes fall out of the sky? Why do students massacre their classmates? Why are infants born to junkies, never yet breathed air but already addicted to crack? Why is there poverty, disease, indifference?
I don't know. Why?
The question is why? Why are we here? To say our hellos and goodbyes and disappear. This beautiful life, what is it for? To learn how to master peace or master war.
Love, love, love. What is love? This, for a Scorpio, this is the bane of our existence. We spend our whole lives trying to hold on to an idea of what we think love is, but never have we understood what it is. So how did we form a concept out of nothing? Or have we? Or is that what we're trying to do? Love is as mysterious as grey is to a Scorpio. When I talk about Libra, Libra is ruled by Venus. Venus represents love. Venus, love, Libra's, grey, all just doesn't make sense to a Scorpio. And that's the thing. And when I talked about the struggle I see in Libra, I mentioned the beauty that we need to appreciate that is in between the contrasts that a Scorpio requires to derive meaning from, to understand things. We need to appreciate the grey, and that grey in between that a Scorpio feels very uncomfortable and unsafe in is essentially what love is. It's a dance of two opposite polarities. If we look at, yin yang, which is like a concept everybody's like familiar with, that's kind of like the oldest polarity or opposite symbol out there in the world. The yin and yang, yin representing the black, which is the feminine, and yang is the white, which is the masculine. The masculine or the white is the creative, and the black, the feminine, is the receptive. So there's a giver and someone taking. There has to be someone giving in order for someone to take, right? It's how the world works. You can't have one without the other. And I talk about Libra unconsciously playing a game of give and take. And when we say Libra represents or is love, essentially, love is the beautiful creation that happens between two opposites. So if we look at the masculine and feminine, so male and female, so father and mother, they come together in their own individual dualities. As opposites, they come together to combine as one to create and procreate the child. So the whole procreating thing is a giver and taker, right? And that's the beauty of yin and yang, and you can see that in everything in the world. And Scorpios kind of understand the contrast of things, the black and white of things, but we get confused and it's hard for us to accept and let it be in the grey, which is love. So in this video, I want to assist because we kind of forget what the meaning of love is or what love means out there in the world. We've come a long way with twisting the meaning of it. And I think everything that's happening and going on right now with the coronavirus and the world heading into a global recession, I think it's a moment for us to look at this as a opportunity for a drastic change, for the pendulum to swing from one side to the other and change the way we do things. Because, you know, have you ever looked at the world and went, what the hell is going on? Well, truth is stranger than fiction. We have a very twisted way of understanding things. Common sense, the word alone, doesn't kind of make sense, because what is common is illogical or not sense, right? We've got to remember that the world and how we understand the world and how we perceive the world is through perspectives and perception. We all understand everything and feel everything differently. And it's no use trying to define and explain it, because it's unique to you as an individual. This is about changing the way to be able to accept the dance between the two opposites, which is love. To become one. It's destruction and creation. Two bodies, two stars, two universes that were on the same path, destined to be destroyed and be one, and be part of the other. Be one universe, one life together, creating life, light and darkness at the same time. From large scale to small, that is life. Destruction and creation at the same time. That is love. Did you catch it? Did you see? In the midst of that chaos, it formed a heart. Did you see it? I'm not saying that love in itself is to be destroyed. I'm saying that the meeting of two great contrasts, or two opposites, the male and female, to create, to become one and to create something that in itself has both of them in the child. The combination, the child itself, embodies love. So when we look at love in itself, is intertwining, the two opposites intertwining with each other and working together. It's what DNA is. You know how it swirls around each other? And it's referenced quite a bit, this intertwining that happens. That is the beauty of what I see, what love is. Whether it be to a male, like two people compromising and meeting in between, and walking and going about their life together, walking the path of life together. That's love. To create something beautiful that consists of both of them is love. It doesn't even need to be a child. It could be art. It could be whatever it is that makes two things okay at the same time. And that's what I kind of see what love is. So in the midst of all this panic and fear and anxiety that's going on intensely in the world, I see this as a huge problem, because it's out of balance. Like the way that the world was going, we no longer understood or saw or knew or could understand what love is anymore. We understand it in such a twisted way. We associate it with things that make no sense and we can't understand. And we've gotten so far from that beauty and unable to appreciate that creating beauty, right? So I believe that love is still the answer. It's quite beautiful. We're in the battle of head and heart. So the battle of emotions versus logical thinking and reasoning. this tug of war. We need to learn to quiet down our minds, to reset. This is our opportunity, and see it as, you know, the pinnacle moment in your life where you can redo things. If we can let go of the need to try to understand and solve things logically or thinking, you know, that's our ego talking. That's our mind trying to survive in an unsafe situation because we never learnt safety. If we can somehow quieten down the mind enough to just accept and be still, perhaps it will allow an opportunity right now, especially with social distancing, to relearn things again about connection, about love and appreciation. You know? Maybe this is our second chance at living.
But she said,
What's the point?
yeah.
The big question.
So what do? You just sit there watching it all unfold, laughing at all the stupid things we do to each other. Because none of it's real, right? It's just this big game of The Sims, and I'm a little girl who lives in a place with no time. I'm eternal, I have no friends, no one to play backgammon with. Is that it?
If you could do anything, what would you do?
I do. Would there be any consequences?
No consequences.
Are we talking about like a PG-rated thing or unrated? Not that I'm thinking of any. I just want to know what my parameters are.
No parameters.
No parameters. Well, let's see. I've always wanted to be able to fly. And if I could breathe underwater, that'd be great, because I would go look for Atlantis. I've been into that since I was a kid. But I guess if Atlantis didn't exist, I would create one, and I would declare myself the king. And there would be mermaids, lots of mermaids. Lots of mermaids in like a harem type situation.
You know what I'd do?
Yeah, I guess I do know what you would do.
I would create a virtual world filled with beauty and opportunity, and everyone and everything in that world would ultimately be one. But they just didn't know it.
Why would you do that?
So that through their own effort and striving, every element in that world could overcome the boundaries that divide them. And they could form this incredibly strong and vital bond that could have never even been conceived of if the pain of its opposite didn't exist. There's no more brilliant light than that which follows complete darkness.
A couple of weeks ago, I asked people to point their cameras into the direction of love. And if you want to know what love is, well, check this out.
The question is why? Why are we here? To say our hellos and goodbyes and disappear. This beautiful life, what is it for? To learn how to master peace or master war. There's only one answer that matters, even if your heart has been shattered. Whatever you want, whatever you are after, love is still the answer. Love is still the answer. Love, love, love. mistakes. No, we're not perfect yet. Maybe God made us all from an accident. And the question that sits on everyone's lips is why should we pick ourselves up and start over again? There's only one answer that matters, even if your heart has been shattered. Whatever you want, whatever you are after, love is still the answer. Love is still the answer. Love, 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 love. The question I'll ask at the end of my days is, what did I give and what will I take? There's only one answer that matters, even if your heart and your dreams have been shattered. Whatever you want, whatever you are after, love is still the answer. Love is still the answer. Love, 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 love is still the answer.